And so it becomes this very, very dynamic thing to think about, if that makes sense, which is why aggression's so tricky and why it's difficult for like training schools, that even the ones that are longer, like 3-month or 6 months programs, to even do justice to the topic of aggression, because it just takes so much time and experience to really grasp all of that and to think it through. And there's no, like, with the exception of like a few things, like some of the resource guarding protocols that I have are kind of paint by numbers, but for a lot of it, there isn't really like a step-by-step, do these things and you will overcome aggression, because it is so dynamic and every case is so unique. And so the first question that we want to ask is, how is the aggression manifesting itself and in what context, right? Because again, and we've talked about this so much in the past, and I cannot stress it enough, that a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to dealing with severe behavior problems, which of course includes aggression, starts with asking the right questions, right? Like what information do we not have that we need to know? And then as we start to answer those questions, leads to more questions. But the first thing I want to know, so okay, you say the dog's fear aggressive. Well, what is the dog actually doing? And what is the context that the dog is doing it in? So like, let's start with this Rottweiler. So those two questions right there. What is the dog doing? And then sort of like, when is it happening? What's the context?
Yeah. So from the first meeting, pretty much like just out of safety, I had her make sure he was in the crate when I came, to the house or whatever. And when I even walked in the house, he didn't even see me. He was in the kitchen in the crate. But he could already sense that somebody new was in the house, and so he was just igniting in the crate, vocally barking.
Well, what's he doing though? Like for the owners, like why did they call you? When is this aggression manifesting for them?
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So a lot of it's coming on the walks, like with people specifically. So like when there's a person walking by in a close distance, for example. He just starts, it's like reactivity. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I guess they're kind of connected, but.
So the next question that I always want to know is, what do the owners do? What's their reaction to this aggression? What happens after the aggression?
Right. Right. And I don't know yet what she's doing. I know she clenches up on him. She's got the wrong tools on him. He definitely
Everybody tries to do something when their dog is being reactive. What that something is can vary. They could tell you that they try to get the dog's attention with treats. They could tell you that they try to hold the dog real close. That they try to pop the dog on the leash. That they try to walk the dog in the other direction. Like there's so many things that they can be trying to do, but I want to know what the owner's trying to do and then how the dog reacts to those things. Because all of that is feeding now my sort of assessment of the situation, right? Because there's a lot we could speculate on. We could speculate all day on like how the dog is feeling and what emotions are driving the behavior, but the starting point has to be, what can we actually observe? What are the facts that we can actually know about the situation?
Right.
And we want to gather as many of those facts as we possibly can, so that we're not, so that we're speculating as little as possible. And there's always going to be some speculation. There's always going to be some amount of, hey, I'm not sure if this is, where this is coming from, or I'm not sure how your dog's going to react to this protocol, and I want to find out.
Right.
But again, even that will give us more facts to rely on if we try to do something to intervene, and then we can observe how the dog reacts in response to that. And that's another fact. That's another piece of information that we have. So we want to gather those tangible pieces.
Right.
What is the dog doing? When is he doing it? How are you reacting? How does the dog react to the thing that you do when you're reacting?
It's like I overthink it, or I'm looking for some magic like trigger that tells me the whole story.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I've got to do the grunt work to get as much. You're right. If I have more information, then when there's more information, it results in less speculation, less guessing.
Exactly. Which is what we want to do. We want to make really well-informed decisions based on facts, based on information that we have. Right?
Totally. Yep.
And do as little guesswork as possible, as little speculating, as little hocus pocus. There's no little magical test we can run that says, oh, this is 75% fear aggression and 13% dominance and 12% arousal. And, we just can't do that. Right. We just say, well, what is the dog doing? Right. Like, how, like what's happening here in this moment?
Yeah.